I'm on a mission to turn my Xbox Series S into the most customized Xbox on the entire planet. Step 1. Painting it. First things first, let's crack this bad boy open. There's 2 stickers you need to peel off to reveal these screws. Bear in mind, peeling this off does void your warranty, but you have to unscrew 2 screws that are a size T8. As you guys can see, I had to cut a little hole to feed my RGB light through. This wasn't too damaging, and it doesn't really affect it cosmetically. There's 7 green screws you have to undo and 2 silver screws at the back just to basically take this plating off. We're just going to speed through this. This next part is kind of scary because you can end up damaging your console, but the best way to do it is to basically wedge it off like this. Be careful with the hardware on the sides and then gently peel that off. You can see where I put my RGB lighting. It's fairly simple and it's not very intrusive. We're going to end up using this again. Next, we are literally filling up a tub with paper and just spray painting it. It is literally as simple as holding it about 30 centimeters away. I wore gloves, I didn't really want to get paint on my hands. This part was very satisfying to do. Obviously make sure that you're taping up all the parts you need to make sure you don't get spray paint on the inside of the console. That should be enough paint, but I went a bit overboard. I wasn't trying to have any patchiness. Right, we're going to wait for this to dry. You can see where there's like a little sticker mark, but that went away after it dried. I sped up the process by using a hairdryer. I wouldn't recommend doing this straight away, as you can end up with like streak marks from blowing the paint away pretty much. This thing is really starting to come along. I love how glossy it looks. Okay, now that the paint is dry, it's time to put this thing back together. First of all, I'm going to start off with the RGB lights. They still had a bit of the stickiness left from the back, but it wasn't ideal. It managed to stick just about, and I didn't really have any problems with this going forward. Now we need to whack our hardware in, being very cautious where the RGB tape is and making sure not to scrape the sides. This is a lot more difficult than it looks, and again, you really need to be careful because you don't want to damage those little chips on the side. Right, now let's screw this thing back together. Pretty much everything from this stage on is exceptionally easy. All I had to do was just thread the RGB strip through there, and then just basically screw it back on. And there we have it, we're done. Honestly, this thing turned out exactly how I wanted it to. The RGB looks incredible still through the USB port on the sides. I left this little white gap here just because I wanted to add like a logo or something custom as well. This Xbox is far from finished, this is just the beginning. I think it looks great so far. I really like the colour, it really kind of pops compared to the white. The RGB from the side still looks incredible, and overall I'm very excited to continue working on this Xbox in the future.